And there's some brilliant services out there in terms of backlinking. AMA comes immediately to mind as one that really does a very, very good job. And they will provide links over time that have some actual value, which is a brilliant service. But in truth, and then otherwise the other people then take the complete other end of the spectrum, and they either have a high-tech sweatshop in the Philippines or India or Costa Rica or wherever it happens to be, and they just pay people, a cent a link to just go and get links wherever they possibly can. Most of that effort is wasted, of course, because they come up as spam comments and people who own the blogs knock them off, or they just go on blogs that Google has already written off millions of years ago. I think you can be a lot smarter than that you can use Market Samurai to target sites that have authority already and that you can provide specific content for, and that you can bring a bit of brains to it. Because a lot of, hey, if we're talking about Viagra, right? Okay, you're talking about the hardest, smartest, baddest, meanest, and I mean that.
Black hat, dodgy, do anything to stay on top.
Will threaten anybody, literally, type of stuff. The markets I love, as you well know, are the ones where it's real stuff being sold to real people, hobbyists and how-tos and all these sorts of things, where there's nowhere near the competition. And that's where this stuff really, really works effectively, and you don't have to work as hard to do it.
I think with reverse engineering what your competition is doing as well, you can begin to pick out, is this keyword worth going after? Because you can sit there and know, well, what's the value of my product? And then look at what the competition's doing to get that position, and using some of the analysis tools, find out how much traffic that particular keyword's getting, and then you can go, is it worth me investing $1,000 to hire this person to get enough links to get me to take that position? And you can really pick those battles. I think that right there, the idea of reverse engineering your competition, is something that can just completely open the landscape up, and it's like you're knowing where to punch, and you're not wasting any energy.
You'd find this. How many times do you ask somebody that you're trying to help out on a site, and you ask them, well, what are the top 10 phrases that are delivering traffic? And they don't know, and they haven't gone through and reverse engineered all this stuff, and it's such a shame, because the only thing it's costing you, particularly with something like Market Samurai, it makes it so easy. In the old days, this used to take a huge amount of research. Now, not even close. It's just so much easier. You kids don't know how easy you have it. But the point is, they don't do that. And of course, there's another quantifier here, Dave, which is really interesting, is that, of course, what you should also know is how much that traffic, and of course, Market Samurai tells you this too, how much it would cost you for the pay-per-click of that equivalent phrase. The average cost per click for that particular phrase in that particular market. And all of a sudden, you can start to see value for what that is worth to you. And then if you can do that, and your conversions, and if you get X visitors, you're going to make Y sales, which is worth Z dollars, and you can factor that back and understand how much you can afford to pay for traffic and make a decent profit. It's all the math. It's cool math. It's exciting math. But what I find is people don't do it.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy.
And I think once you do start to learn your numbers, and this comes down to understanding things like the lifetime value of a client, you can understand how much you can spend to acquire that client, and then really the name of the game becomes, how many clients can I acquire at a price that's under the value that I'm going to get out of them in a lifetime? And then your marketing budget effectively becomes unlimited. I think where I see a lot of people go wrong, especially with the market research stuff, is once you start in on that, it's very easy to just get caught up in the market research and then have trouble going through to implementation, because by doing the market research, you're sitting there and it's like designing a trading system. You're looking for that holy grail, that perfect system, or that perfect keyword. Yeah, sometimes you just need to do that research and then dive straight in. I'm just interested to get your thoughts on how getting over that,
and that is such a huge, that is such a huge issue. It's massive. Because for two reasons. One is it can be like educational crack cocaine. People get so addicted to designing the trading system in your neck of the woods, or in doing the research and learning about something and getting all high on learning how to do something, that they actually don't actually end up doing it, or they don't put the trading system to the test. And this is insane, because the only reason we're doing all of this is because the information that you're getting from Google itself is not gospel, right? It's just like, in trading, past results are no indicator of future events. They can give you guides and you can get good at analyzing them based on your judgment and history. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, there's nothing like actually getting a blog up, targeting the phrase and seeing how it ranks, doing the work to get it ranked, and then seeing the actual traffic that's coming through. That's the ultimate test. And, everything that we do inside the 30-day challenge is all about getting you to that point, which is this market worth going and putting all this time and effort into? Because it kills me that people, they have a bank account, like this emotional bank account of how much effort they can put into something before they decide, bugger this, I'm going to go watch Avatar for the 3rd time.
Good film.
Great film. Really, really good. Have you seen it on IMAX, just as a side note?
No, I'm afraid it'll give me a headache.
Yeah, it's unreal. It is just so immersive. Anyway, I digress. If you spend all your, all that effort, that you've got this bank account of effort and energy, and if you spend all of that on, knocking out the product first or doing just research, you're never going to get something launched. I think Seth Godin, in his latest book called Linchpin, which is a ripper, Tribes was brilliant. Linchpin is another one which is just superb. He talks about himself wanting to be an idea shipper, not an idea maker. And I love that. I thought, what a great phrase. Be an idea shipper. You've done nothing. The distinction is this. Anybody can come up with an idea. We can brainstorm markets. You and I could go on for hours about different markets that we could get into and different things. And this is what I admire about you, is because you ship your ideas. Most people don't ship. And what I mean by shipping is you deliver a product. Valuing your websites is an example of a shipped idea. It's a shipped product. Now, will it be a super success? Will it be a moderate success? Or will it just be not sure. One thing I will know is it won't be a dud, because we've done the research. And all this market research and all of this traffic testing and so on it will never tell us how successful something will be, but it can help us avoid a huge amount of time and spending all of our currency in our emotional bank account by going after something that's a dud and is never going to work, despite your best intentions.
Yeah, I can see already, there's a huge correlation between sort of the trading niche and you did, and the idea of the way people design trading systems. I can see.
Fundamentals are the same. This is, the more I get into this, if I've got any distinction, if I've been able to do anything on my time on the planet, it's to realize that the fundamentals are absolutely incontrovertible, regardless of niche, market, or system. Like the fundamentals in finding a good trading system are identical to a good marketing system for a new website, and identical for opening up a hairdressing salon. And the tactics are different. The tools that you may have to use, but at the end of the day,
the strategy is
there's research. You need to get traffic. You need to figure out conversion. And eventually you have to have a product. And with a trading system, it's all about, the best systems are all about helping you say no.
Exactly right.